All right. Okay. Assemblyman Deemer. Oh, okay. Well, wait. There it is. There it is. Senator D. Murray. Woo! Coming up. I'm going to wait. Shawnee boy, come on in here, because this is very, very important to start this off. Look, Sean. So, the first thing is, this is truly important, but the critical that we have to make a moment before to keep our military members and all in Israel in our thoughts. So let's just have a moment of silence. What's happening over in the Middle East. There are many suffering at the hands of the terrorists, and we must always be there for our greatest ally in that region. So let's have a moment of silence for not just our Americans in harm's way, but all the Israelis that right now are suffering from this terrible, horrific terrorist attack. Thank you. So, we all know why we're here. My name is Senator Mario Mattera. I am proud to be on the highest Republican on the Energy Committee. Our leader, Ort, actually chose me to be the ranker, and I'm so proud of that because it is in my wheelhouse, that especially what my background is, as being the business angel of Plumbers Local 200, you know, protecting many, many members and their families to make sure we have a decent wage and decent health care and a decent pension. For the past 3 years, I've been raising awareness of the issues with the ill-conceived gas ban that is slated to begin in 2025. Everybody has to understand, 2025 is here, and you, right now, 7 stories and under, you will not, with buildings, will not be able to have natural gas, propane, or any kind of mixed fuels. And it will be all electric. And we all know what the issue is right now. We care about renewable energy, everybody. We care about, in other words, for the future. We care about our environment. That to have the cleanest burning fuel, natural gas and propane, out of our lives, it's not right. We know this is going to hurt not just our families, but our economy. It's going to our homeowners and with our economy. And we're here today to stop with this unrealistic ban and come together to create a realistic plan. And you know what? We all know the time. We need a plan, not a ban. What we have to do while protecting our residents and our environment, we must make sure that any energy mandate is safe, reliable, and cost-effective. And we cannot rely on electric alone. And you know, my good friends with the IBEW here, which you're going to hear the speakers that are coming here forward to speak on this, they'll explain this to you. We need to transition into renewable energy when it's perfected. And it's the furthest thing from being perfected. So everybody has to understand 2023 budget. We went and it was in the budget. The governor had it in her budget, and it was all in different, one budget, and we had to vote on this. There was good things in certain budgets, but not with this. To go all electric in buildings right now is so premature. Wind, solar, and battery storage is not going to do what the state of New York says it's going to do. The CLCPA is doing a great job. They're trying very hard. But mandates are not for our lives. Do we want any mandates, everybody? No. So we will be facing blackouts, brownouts. New Yorkers deserve better. Everybody hears what's happening. And there it is, Assemblywoman Jody Giglio. And, Assemblyman Ed Ra, too, is here also. I did that already, but we'll say it again. County Legislator Steve Flattering. Everybody knows what happened with the lawsuit in Berkeley, California. The city of Berkeley, California, the Restaurant Association sued with a federal lawsuit. And you know what? The 9th District judges deemed it to be against federal law. That supersedes state law. Just to give everybody a heads up, the plaintiffs that are here today that are going to be speaking made sure that, in other words, they care about our families, workers, also everybody that's going to be hurt by this mandate. So this plaintiffs, we have a lawsuit with all of New York State. That's how important this is. This is a state statewide lawsuit with the Second Circuit to have a lawsuit against banning natural gas. How great is that? So we're going to have speakers come up right now because everybody's going to have their point of view and to explain this. But just so you know, as legislators, we need to do the right thing on both sides. This is a bipartisan issue. We care about our families. We care about our lives. This is a life issue, banning natural gas. So the first speaker I have is somebody that's very special to me and everybody here. Because again, this is a bipartisan issue. Let's get up and have a round of applause for the great supervisor of the town of Babylon, Rich Schaefer. How about a round of applause for Senator Mattera, Mattera, for bringing us all together. So I'm here to speak on behalf of the Plumbing Contractors Association of Long Island. I'm their executive director, and they are one of the plaintiffs, in fact, one of the first plaintiffs to decide that they were ready to put their money where their mouth is and join on as a plaintiff in the litigation. The thing that we're very impressed about is that we have the same attorney, Sarah Jorgensen, and her firm, which is out of California, out of DC, and out of New York. The same attorney that won the Berkeley case is our case here in New York State. And the only message I have is that, and this is very simple, it doesn't have to be complicated. New York State's law violates the United States Constitution. Period. Full stop. And that is all that has to be said, because there are pages upon pages of the complaint. There will be pages upon pages of New York State responding. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is this law that was passed and signed is unconstitutional. And so what that means is it's an opportunity to go back to the drawing board. And as Senator Mattera said, and you're going to hear time and time again today, we don't need a ban, we need a plan. We need a plan. And so now I'll speak with my government hat on, and that the only way as a town supervisor that I can address, and Supervisor Wareheim and I think Supervisor Smith is here, the only way that we can do things and get things done in our respective towns with our town boards is to have a plan. We can't say we're just going to stop doing everything and then figure it out later. We have to come up with the details of the plan and then how to implement the plan. And so New York State is doing this backwards, not just from my group, the Plumbing Contractors Association of Long Island's perspective, but from a government perspective. And so I would say we strongly support, our association strongly supports what you're doing legislatively. We're ready to support you in January when you go back to session in whatever you're going to be doing through the Energy Committee. And we will stand to make sure that New York State is not above the law and they follow the law. Their law that they passed is unconstitutional. Let's get back to the drawing board and address all the issues that we know need to be addressed. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Rich Schaefer, Plumbing Contractors Association, Town of Babylon. You know, it's just amazing that media was all over this and media doesn't come here. Again, this is a bipartisan issue. This is about our families. This is about our livelihood. We have unions in the background over here. We have the Carpenters Local. We have Local 138. We have Local 200. We have the Labor's Local 66, 1298. 638. What am I saying? My 638. I wasn't going to say that right. Local 638. We have everybody that will be hurting. How many jobs are being lost? How many jobs are being lost already because of this? We have developers that don't know what to do, which you're going to be hearing from our developers. But first, what I would like to do is have somebody, a mom, from her heart, come forward. Where's Ellen? Ellen, come over here. Ellen G. D'Amico. Ellen, I want you to speak on how this will be hurting you as a resident of Long Island, but as a family that you support your family. Please, let's hear from you. Let's say hello to Ellen.
Unnecessary financial burden, especially the light of the need to replace appliances, rewire our home, and an inevitable replacement of our natural gas burner. We all share the vision of a cleaner, sustainable future. However, it shouldn't come at the cost of dictating our energy choices or imposing undue expenses on families like mine, especially after grappling with the challenges of COVID and now the failed Bidenomics. Cherished postal packages. I'm profoundly grateful to Senator Mattera for shedding light on these issues and rallying the public to understand the real-world implications of such demands. Governor Hochul must recognize the importance of community-based decision-making rather than unilateral ruling. This isn't about local control, it's about local control. It's imperative to understand that these measures are a blatant infringement on consumer choice, have cultural ramifications, and will further strain homeowners' finances, especially with inflation rates soaring, as now the U.S. inflation is hovering around 5 to 7%, but I think it's really higher. As of now, the U.S. In these trying times, such decisions can't be taken lightly. I earnestly hope our voices are heard. And I want to add one more thing. Governor Hochul, she's racist. Because she doesn't want Asians to live in new homes or own new restaurants.
Okay. All right, give a hand for Ellen. It's okay. It's okay. You know what? The good, the bad, remember, the good, the bad, the ugly. We gotta love it. Again, we need a plan, not a ban. Okay, the next speaker is somebody that I sit with up in the chamber, close to the chamber, but sit in the conference room. Somebody that is a mentor to me, Senator Jack Martins.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to miss hearing we need a plan, not a ban, every 5 minutes from Senator Mattera. But let's hear it for Senator Mattera and the great job that he's doing keeping this issue on the front burner, literally. You know, ladies and gentlemen, we're told all the time, follow the science. Follow the science, follow the facts. Well, here are the facts. Our grid here on Long Island cannot sustain an electric-only power source for all of our homes and all of our businesses. That's a fact. We're an island jutting out into the middle of the Atlantic, and in the summer we get hurricanes, in the winter we get nor'easters. Our power lines run through trees, and when we get windstorms, those trees come down and those power lines come down. And if we don't have an alternate means of powering our homes, people are going to get hurt. That's a fact. And when you think about it, the first job of government, the first job is protect our families, make sure we're safe. And this does just the opposite. And for what? At the end of the day, it's going to cost us jobs, good paying jobs, good union paying jobs for the people who are right here behind us. It's going to make our families and our communities less safe. And frankly, it doesn't make sense. You know, we just heard a few moments ago that Albany has gotten this backwards, and they have. And it's a shame that we all have to come together for a lawsuit in order to convince people to do the right thing. But I want to thank the plumbers. I want to thank everyone who is part of this lawsuit and who has funded this lawsuit, because by doing so, you're doing the right thing and you're protecting every family on Long Island and every family across New York State. So let's say it again, and let's say it together. We need a plan, not a ban. Thank you.
Love it. Thank you so much, Senator. So somebody, I represent the 2nd Senate District, all of Smithtown, and all of Huntington. Very proud of that. And I have very much of a friend, another mentor to me that took me under his wing, a great Assemblyman, Michael Fitzpatrick.
Thank you for putting this together. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for attending. The reason we're here is look behind us. All of the people, the gentlemen and the women of labor whose jobs, livelihoods, families, and industries are going to be severely and adversely affected by what Governor Hochul and the administration in Albany is trying to accomplish. When the administration in Washington canceled on their very first day in office the Keystone Pipeline, no consideration was given to the effect, intended or unintended, to those people whose jobs were on the line. And that same attitude pervades this administration when it comes to the people standing behind us here. We need a diversified energy portfolio to meet the demands of today's economy. Electric only will not work. And what we have to do is rein in these environmental radicals who have far too much influence in Albany and who are not thinking through the consequences, the long-term consequences of what they are advocating for. If we go electric only, what happens when the sun doesn't shine? What happens when the wind doesn't blow? What happens when there is a shock to the system? Or use the grid can handle. We can meet those needs today with natural gas. But unless we meet those needs and those requirements, we go to all electric. There's nothing wrong with going to clean energy. I think we're all in support of that when the economics demand it, or when the economics work. But the economics don't work yet. That is why the administration canceled the XL pipeline. That is why the Biden administration is putting severe pressure on the banking and financing industries not to give working capital to the industries that deliver energy today. They are using government power to manipulate the market to improve the economics of alternative energy or green energy by hurting the economics of our energy supply today. It doesn't work. It will have disastrous long-term consequences, and in the long run, it will hurt all of us. Consumers are not ready for what the radical environmentalists have planned for us. People want to turn on the electricity or turn on that gas and cook a nice meal for their family. They can't do it with all electric. Just a quick story and I'll end. I was in Ireland last week and I had dinner. A couple colleagues of mine had dinner with a couple that had just retired to Ireland from Westchester County. They were there for 3 months. And of course I asked them, what do you like about living in Ireland? Of course there's plenty to like about living in Ireland. But I said, what are the negatives? And the negatives, the biggest problem, is energy. What they're doing in Europe is what they want to do to us here. And the lady said, it takes me 5 hours to dry a load of laundry because of the restrictions they have on energy in Europe. That's not the future I want. I don't think it's the future any of you want. We have to send that message to the administration in Washington that we need natural gas, we need propane, we need a diversified energy portfolio, not all electric. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you so much, Assemblyman. Now, you can see how diverse this whole group is that's here. My colleague, the Plumbers Local 200, new business agent for a couple of years now, but been a member for a while. Joe Scicciarini, come on up here. We do have, he wants to say a couple of words about the workers, how we're losing jobs. We do have local 21, Tom O'Brien, business manager here also. I appreciate all the guys. And we have other unions that came out from upstate New York. Hold on one second. Joe Scatrini.
Good morning. My name is Joe Scatrini. I'm the Nassau County Business Agent for Plumbers Local 200. I represent 1,100 hardworking members and their families. Plumbers Local 200 is a plaintiff in this lawsuit. This natural gas ban is unnecessary. Natural gas is one of the cleanest fuels. This gas ban is hurting our members and their families. This is our livelihood. This natural gas ban deleted 25% of the plumbers' work. Our members were trained to do this work. We have an apprenticeship program that teaches installation of natural gas piping and propane gas piping. Taught enough to put food on the table and roofs over our families' heads. I have workers standing right behind me right now that are laid off because of the natural gas ban. This lawsuit is going to protect this. This gas ban is too premature. We need to make sure that we're going to continue to put people to work. Hope that the judges look at this real hard. This gas ban is putting hardship not only on our members, but also all of New York. We also have today our brothers and sisters locals from Buffalo to New York City. All around that are going through the same hardships that we are. Thank you.
Great job, Joe. From the heart. I got to say one thing. One of the worst feelings in the world is when you have people that are laid off, but people that put mandates forward. Are we about mandates? No! I'm going to constantly say that. How terrible is this? This is something that I'm sorry. Is our Mark Valentini here? Where are you? From Washington. I have PHCC, Plumbing and Heating Cooling Contract Association. When we had last March, at the steps of our great Smithtown Town Hall, or Ed Wareheim allowed us to have a press conference about the all-electric buildings then, Mark Valentini came up, actually was up in Albany also with a press conference with Leader Ort, Senator Ort, and we had the press conference. And Mark came up with some amazing words. You know what? They're really from the heart to say how this is going to affect all of our lives. Mark Valentini.
Thank you, Senator. My apologies for being late. I'm here on behalf of the New York State Association of Plumbing and Heating Contractors and the Long Island Association of Plumbing and Heating Contractors. Across the state, they represent over 200 plumbing and heating contractors, employing thousands of both open shop and union professionals that New Yorkers rely on every day for safe gas connections, for cooking and home heating, a warm home in the cold winter months, an otherwise healthy and comfortable quality of life for New York families that's often taken for granted and overlooked. As a homeowner and father of two, thank you for everything that you guys do. Contractors will tell you that natural gas and propane are often more efficient, more affordable, more appropriate method of delivering that quality of life, whether it's from a boiler, whether it's from a water heater or a furnace or a dryer or an oven or any combination therein. This statewide ban is going to undermine that quality of life. And for the organizations represented here today, the federal court is the only recourse available when legislators in Albany just simply wouldn't listen to them, except for Senator Mattera, of course. And that's why New York PHCC supports this lawsuit. Jobs, affordability, and choice are at stake here. Jobs are already being impacted. A lot of these guys here will tell you that you have contracts that are being canceled or modified because building plans are now calling for an all-electric spec, and this is putting plumbers out of work. It's increasing construction costs, and contractors are going to be eating that cost. Whatever is not going to be passed on to the consumer. Contractors are not losing out on this because of foreseeable market forces. This is something that's being forced by government fiat, and it's needlessly going to render a key skill set obsolete. And that's why New York PHCC and Long Island PHCC supports this lawsuit. Reliable sources of home heating, such as gas and propane, will be phased out to force building electrification. And this means spending tens of thousands of dollars on new appliances, electric panel upgrades to accommodate increased load, building envelope upgrades such as insulation, siding, windows, roof, increased electric bills that were previously offset by gas utilities. Now, if there are New Yorkers that choose to make that investment and can afford it, great. Our guys will do that work. But that's a choice. And New Yorkers should also be able to choose to keep their gas utilities if they feel that's what works best. And a lot of times it does. We don't oppose building electrification. What we do oppose is forced electrification policies that limit consumer choice while costing New Yorkers more. And that's why New York PHCC and Long Island PHCC supports this lawsuit. Appreciation, of course, to Senator Mattera and the staff for their leadership on this matter. And more importantly, again, to the skilled professionals behind me who had to take time away from their work, their families, and their customers to be here because their government is failing them, except for Senator Mattera, of course.
Anyway.
You, or why New York PHCC and Long Island PHCC supports this lawsuit. Thank you. All the way from Washington. We have, just so you know, we have Legislator Dominic Thorne here also with us. Legislator, thanks so much. Senator Steve Rose. John Micklin, Assemblyman. Thank you so much, everybody. What's that? I said Steve. What? Steve Flatterin again. We go. And we do have, and he's going to be a speaker. He's coming up right now, but we're going to have another speaker for our great supervisor of Brookhaven to speak for us. But I have somebody that's very, very important that's going to be coming up that represents over 4,000 members. Pacadis is somebody that, how can I say it? In other words, has a heart. Tells it the way it is. Like I always say, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let's get him up here. My good friend, Pacadis, the great local 1049.
For all the hard work he's doing for all of labor across New York State. Now, my name is Pat Cadiz, and I represent the hardworking men and women at IBEW Local 1049. And we have literally thousands of our members that are working in the gas industry that stand to lose their jobs. Now, let's talk about this for a second. Well, we've heard some great speakers tonight, and there have been a lot of great points put on. And my brother from the plumbers a few moments ago, when he talked about looking at people when they're laid off, looking into their eyes, I got something worse than that. That is looking into the faces of thousands of your brothers and sisters that you know are not going to have a job before the end of the decade. And frankly, that's bullshit. What we need to do is we need to have, when we talk about having a plan, not a ban. There's nobody here that's denying that we shouldn't have cleaner energy. We have been increasing and improving technology throughout the 20th century and into the 21st century. We continue to employ technology that's going to meet the demands of the climate legislation. But to rush it through because we got to be first, that's wrong. Because we're leaving working people behind. Standing behind us are plumbers, are union workers, hard-working union workers. But they're a fraction of the amount of people that are going to lose their jobs across the state with an ill-conceived and ill-thought ban on natural gas, a resource we have plenty of that keeps the economic engine of our community driving and ensures that we are moving forward. So, Local 1049 is also a plaintiff on the gas ban. We look forward to moving the ball forward so that we can ensure that people in the state of New York have a diverse energy portfolio, have choices that they can make, and that people can maintain good jobs. I'm sick and tired of hearing about we're going to transition. Nobody's transitioning into anything. There's simply going to be people at a loss of jobs. So let's stand together. Let's move this ball. and let's get this lawsuit. And I look forward to working with you in January to bring up our message forward. Thank you.
That is a real union leader right there. What a great guy. Socrates. Again, we need to transition into renewable energy. We are not California. You know what's happening with California? When the governor gets up and says, guess what, people? Do not plug in your EV cars because we do not have enough electric. Is that what we're about? No! California has a lot more sun than we do here in New York State. Wind, solar, and battery storage, which I don't even want to get into, because we all know what's happening with, we got our fire department over here. We got Hop Park Fire Department here. They know. There it is. We got chiefs. They're here because they know what's happening right now with the battery storage, where we have towns doing moratoriums, because when they go on fire, our fire department can't do the job. So, we have somebody here right now that I'm so proud of, the largest town on Long Island, a man that cares about labor, a man that cares about our families. Yes, and he is, the environment, one of the leaders in the environment for years. But a man, in other words, is going to be our next county executive, Ed Romaine. And I'm the only one that can hug him.
Mario hugs everyone. He's a lover, not a hater.
Sometimes.
Look, the sign says it all. We need a plan, not a ban. We all know that fossil fuel is something that we're living with, that we'd like to transition from, but you don't transition to nothing. Now, the wind, which I'm a strong supporter of, may be delayed. Who's going to give us the power that we need? The power for jobs, the power to keep the employees of the union involved. Tom, how are you? So, I'm here to say, look, I get it. Fossil fuels, we've got to start moving away from for our environment. But you know what? You better have a plan. You better not move so quickly that you're left without power, because we have a tough enough time making a living here on Long Island without being able to plug in anything or turn on the lights, and the lights don't work because there's not enough electricity.
That's right.
So yes, I'm in favor of moving away from fossil fuel, but only if we have something in its place. To move away now is crazy. And to not involve the people, the unions, in making sure that as we move from one source of fuel to the next, that their jobs are protected and the training is there for the new economy. So yes, the sign says it all. We need a plan, not a ban.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Supervisor. We appreciate him so much. He's always been there. But I'm just going to give everybody a heads up. This is even about our contractors. What about the contractors that get their licenses and guess what? And then they employ people. The contractors are being affected by all this also. So to all the plumbing contractors, union, non-union, this is a bipartisan rally press conference. Because we have both sides here. Yes, I care about the unions. But yes, we care about everybody. We care about our lives. And when people sit there and say, look what just happened with the PSC. The PSC knew that it was going to cost all ratepayers 100 to 200% more for their electric bills if they were going to continue right now. We want the projects to go to wind and solar, but who should pay for it? Not the residents, not the residents of New York State. Again, remember, Berkeley, California. That was City of Berkeley, California. That was a lawsuit with the Restaurant Association. Only Berkeley. This is a statewide lawsuit. It's against the Constitution. It's against the federal law to eliminate our precious natural gas and propane and mixed fuels.
Energy independence.
Energy independence, absolutely. So we have the director of New York Propane Gas Association director. Where are you, Bill? Bill, come on up here to say some words. And you know what? I'm so happy that you're here. Gil Overbrag. Hold on a second. Say hello to Bill. Thank you, Senator.
My organization, the New York Propane Gas Association, represents 250 companies all across the state, labor and non-labor alike. We heat around 250,000 homes in New York State, and we're proud to be plaintiffs in this lawsuit to fight an illegal law that's going to shut down businesses across New York State, an illegal law that's going to cost New Yorkers their jobs, an illegal law that's going to harm our energy security and bring down our electric grid, an illegal law that's going to drive our energy prices up through the roof. This law needs to be shut down. I support everything that Senator Mattera is doing and the others up here, and together we're going to work to turn this around.
Right to the point. Okay. Save our propane gas. You need a plan, not a ban. I'm sorry, you're going to hear this so much that you're going to be sick of me saying it. You're going to be going home at the dinner table and saying, you know, we need a plan, not a ban. So, here's a group that I met years ago. Mitch Pally, everybody knows that. Libby, everybody knows the Long Island Builders Institute. There's a great, amazing group that cares about the development, the proper development on Long Island. Let's get Mike Florio up here. Where are you, Mike? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator Mattera, for putting this very impressive collection of talent together. This is quite a group, and I'm happy to be here today. On behalf of both Libby, Long Island Builders Institute, also our sister organizations, the New York State Builders Association and the National Association of Home Builders, who are party to this suit, so we're happy to be here representing them. We lobbied against this in Albany this year, and we were not successful. But we feel that putting an arbitrary number out there of 2024, 2025, 2026, whatever it is not the right way to go about this. As we said, we need a plan, not a ban. We all here support a transition. Transition is the key word there, to clean energy, to renewable. But, we talk here about home affordability on Long Island a lot. This is just going to add more cost to homeowners in the price of housing. It's misguided, it's rushed, and we need to do a better job. We talk about the reliability and the capacity of the grid here to handle the additional load. Let's study that a little more. Let's make sure that we can transition to this at the right time and the right place and at an affordable cost to people. Otherwise, the price is going to be passed down to the consumer, and we're going to see our home prices go up. As everyone said here, it's going to cost more for construction. It's going to impede development here on Long Island. So we are on your side. We are fighting this with you, and I look forward to working with you to get this done and push this ban back and have a smart plan instead to transition to a cleaner future. So thank you for having me.
Right. Thank you so much. Very, very important. We need our developers, proper development over here. I have somebody that I sit right next to in the chamber. Very important person. Where is our great Senator Dean Murray? Come on up here for some words, please.
Thank you, Mario. I'll be brief because the previous speaker actually said exactly what we were saying. We've heard over and over again how we're doing this backwards. We're not thinking of the impact this will have on New Yorkers. Well, that's the impact. When you drive up the cost, when you change the plan and drive up the cost of building, what's going to happen? When you drive up the cost of building, it's going to drive up the prices. We've had a governor that's been yelling and screaming, and rightfully so, about our affordable housing prices. We do have a crisis. This makes it worse. This is the exact wrong thing to do to tackle the affordable housing prices. We need to stop now. Let's think about the future. Let's think about New Yorkers, and let's try to keep them here. This will chase more away. So God bless. Let's go get it.
Thank you so much, Senator. Again, you hear there's a very diverse group here, and you're hearing everybody's words. It's not just elected officials getting here. We invited everybody, both sides. This is a bipartisan issue. It's about our families. It's about a way of life. It's our livelihoods, our jobs. And somebody that I love, somebody that cares about business, about all businesses, and making sure that they thrive and not leave to go to Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Texas, South Dakota, gained the correct congressional seat. We lost the congressional seat, everybody. People are leaving because of mandates just like this. They're sick and tired of this. It's somebody that has been with me for a lot of years, town of Huntington. Let's get up our good friend, Bob Fonte, with the Chambers.
Thank you, Senator Mattera. We did three things this morning. We woke up, we showed up, and we spoke up. And that's important that we continue doing that. That's the plan. Gas is natural. It's natural gas. They're banning it. We have a supply and demand issue, you heard. That's so important. 2025, it is just around the corner. We're not going to get there from here. The lights won't go on, the gas won't go on, and I have to tell you something, the businesses will not go on. 95% of all businesses here in Suffolk County, actually in New York State, are small businesses. The men and women that are behind us, in front of us, to the left and the right, it doesn't make a difference, as Senator has mentioned, Mario has mentioned. It is not a partisan issue. We have to do the right thing. We have to make sure the state does the legal thing. It can't be half-baked. It can't be half-spoken. On behalf of the Suffolk County Alliance of Chambers and Gina Coletti, my co-chair, we're behind this 100%. We're behind the men and women in labor. We're behind Mario Mattera and this movement. We absolutely need the time to implement the right system, not in 2025, but later on down the road when there is a plan. Thank you so very much, Mayor.
Thank you so much for being bipartisan. This is very, very important. In the legislature, I'd like to get up my good friend, labor leader, a fighter of fighters, cares about the environment. Right now he's fighting for so many sewers right now in his district, Nick Caracappa.
Thank you, Senator. I'll be brief. You know, we're spending a lot of resources, a lot of time. We have people away from their jobs, away from their families, constantly battling what's coming down from up top in the state and the governor. It's time that common sense leadership, common sense government prevails. This is not a matter of people anymore. It's a matter of politics. That has to change. From fighting to this gas ban, to the all electric, to the migrants, whatever it may be, we are always facing an uphill battle. We must all come together. Enough is enough. Common sense, no nonsense. Let's get it done. We're behind you. We're behind all of you. As a labor leader, as a representative in elected office, more importantly as a father, we cannot allow this. And I thank you, Senator Mattera, for spearheading this. I thank the plumbers, the electrical unions, and all those standing behind us today to having enough, what can I say, balls to get up here and take it to them. Hey, listen, I'm a labor guy. I tell it like it is. If they can say bullshit, I can say that. Let's get this done, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you. God bless America. Nick Caracappa, my good friend. So, you know, I'm going to open this up. If anybody else would like to come up here and speak, I'm being honest with you, because you know what? You saw the diverse speakers that we had here. Dominic, you like to say a couple words to the legislative? Legislator Dominic Thorne, I know you want to speak on. You want to speak on, I know that it's happening with our fire department. Hold on one second, Dominic Thorne. Yet another agency notion from our governor. This ban not only destroys the jobs that run this county and let people afford to live in this county, but it endangers our firefighters. It endangers the very men and women that we call on when emergency strikes. Again, another ban, another mandate to our fire EMS system without any funding yet again. I'm going to stand here with Senator Mattera and all these men and women in labor
This is the most ridiculous, ill-conceived plan I have ever heard. And I've got one message for our governor. Get your hands off our jobs. Get your hands off our county fire and EMS systems. Back up, go back to Buffalo, and leave our island alone.
Well, this is a whole New York State lawsuit, by the way. And I want to thank the plaintiffs. I want to thank all the plaintiffs again. I have somebody with the Hop Park Fire Department. My good friend, Ronnie Barnes, would like to say a couple of words on behalf of the fire department.
Yes, you do. Go up there.
Just to speak about it, we're being told by a mandate who I went to a convention up in Turning Stone. Within 4 years, they want to put electric fire engines on the streets. Right now, a fire engine costs about $800,000. It will cost $2 million. We have to put $440 into the firehouses. We also have to have other articles put onto it. Then I asked the question of what happens when the electricity runs out. Oh, we have a diesel engine in. I'm spending $2 million to put a fire engine on the road, that if it runs out of electricity, I have a diesel engine beside it to make it run. Doesn't make sense. And then the talker I'm talking around, we talk about the electricity. I look at it in the way it is right now. Our electricity bills are off the wall. You buy $80 worth of electricity and you pay $83 to have it delivered. What is it going to cost us to put $440 into a firehouse, electrify these engines, charge their batteries? What's it going to cost us? Who's going to pay for it? The taxpayers. We have to increase our budgets. We have to do everything else. We can buy an aerial ladder for $120,000 and pay $800,000 for a pumper. And now we're going to have to pay $2 million for a fire engine. What's it going to cost us for an aerial? They have no concept. And we all suffer right now. As soon as it gets hot in the summertime, everything goes black or brown. Come on, it has to stay the way it is. We can't cut. And as I said, Senator Mattera says, keep our gas. When we have the power source in Long Island, we don't have it. Nowhere in the state has it. Not even California, which I've been out to. They pay $2 million for a fire engine in Los Angeles. And it's in a repair shop more than it's working. So, where are we going? I would tell the governor, this is it. Stick by your guns and fight. Fight for the union. I've been a union man for 44 years. And come up with an idea to save our system. That's it.
Thank you, Ronnie Barnes, Hop Park Fire Department. Again, we need a band. It says we need a band. Not a band. I'm messing that up on my God. Oh my God. Thank you. So, I'm going to conclude this press conference rally with all these great people that are here. Very diverse group. Everybody, where is the media? The media has to understand. Okay. We got right Smithtown Messenger.
South Shore Press.
South Shore Press.
TBR.
TBR. What?
Time Speaking Record.
Time Speaking Record.
Right. Yes. Thank you. TBR. So I'm going to conclude to say thank you so much, everybody. God bless our families. God bless everybody here, and especially God bless the United States of America.